What's up, everyone? You are tuned in to the channel Eps episode 122. I'm your host, EEPMON, and today we're going to go a little bit deep. I'm going to talk about the invisible chains, why we hesitate to follow our own path. So, why do we find it so difficult to follow our passion, pursue our own paths? Why are we afraid of the unknowns and uncertainties? In my almost 20-year career as a creative entrepreneur, as a digital artist, I have observed many who are caught in what I call the golden handcuffs. The golden handcuffs. Mind you, these individuals that I have witnessed are incredibly talented. Incredibly talented. However, society has created this expectation where the definition of success is reliant on how much money you make, is reliant on this thing that we call status, reputation, which unfortunately I think coincides with how much money you make, what company you work for, brand reputation, right? Even academia, education, what school you went to. All of these things play into this expectation of establishing yourself an incredible career, which pays very well. But unfortunately, many at times, these same individuals are increasingly jaded, is that even a word? Just not satisfied. I was going to say unsatisfied. Not satisfied, feeling a sense of emptiness. I bet there's a bit of regret, but they can't really pinpoint as to why it is they aren't fulfilled. And I call this the golden handcuffs. It could also be keeping up with the Joneses, right? I gotta get a house. I gotta own a car. I gotta make more money. This and that. I have to get a raise. I have to move up the corporate ladder. So, from my personal experience, I'm just being straight up, and correct me if I'm wrong, but my observation is that all this stuff leads to conformity, leads to complacency, stuck in this matrix. The matrix of this facade called success. We're all hamsters on this hamster wheel. Upmanship. We're all fighting for the scraps. But there are those who understood and identified this issue, this problem. And one does not need to observe today. Look around. Increased polarization of society. People are fighting, having their own opinion, not listening to each other. The economy isn't doing great. I don't know. My YouTube algorithm's feeding me with lots of videos of people working in the tech sector hoping to have that promise of success. Yet there is huge layoffs, and people are starting to awaken to the fact that regardless of how you perform, you are, at the end of the day, expendable. But my realization occurred very early in my career. I remember I was still a student, and I was considered a Flash star. For those who know Flash, back in the day, Macromedia Flash or Adobe Flash, back when web was still like, Web 2 was just like popping off, and people were creating these incredible interactive websites. And I was really at the forefront. Well, I'm not like, there are clearly people much more talented than I was, but I was really dialed in the whole Flash world. And as a result, gained reputation, won awards, and I had the opportunity to work for a design or a Flash studio for my summer job between my schooling. But at the same time, being the ambitious individual that I am, I guess, I've already established clientele. I already established my own clients. But this small studio was not happy or didn't like the fact that I was doing this. Long story short, I was told to pack my bags and go home. Literally was told to pack my bags and go home. Because this small studio did not like the fact that I was so successful. That they were, didn't think that I was part of the core team or a team player. But the fact is, I knew my worth. I've already established these clienteles. And the fact that they did that was a huge eureka moment and enlightening for myself back then. Because I realized, wow, this studio of individuals could have taken two routes. One, they could have totally embraced it. Like, wow, good for you. You are amazing. Keep doing what you're doing. And that's amazing. You're still a student and you're doing this amazing. Like, wow, like all the power to you. Or two, they would just fire my ass because they were intimidated. And they did the latter. And that was the realization, like, wow, now I know my worth. I know where I stand. I know that I got a glimpse of this facade of corporate culture, all buddy-buddy. And then, sure, you get payment, you get all these benefits and all that. But I knew I could do more. And I know that the only way that I could succeed in furthering my ambition, my career, is I had to do it on my own. Because had I continued there or worked for, if I would have been like everyone else, right? Expendable. If I'm going to already have this impression that I'm going to be expendable, regardless of my performance, I might as well just go on my own already. You're exposed, so you might as well be fully exposed from the get-go. That's my personal insights. That's my realization, and that was my key moment that I needed to continue on my own path, despite the fact that, yeah, it's going to be tough. I'm not going to have that bi-weekly paycheck. I got to get my own opportunities and figure it out. It was tough. And it continues to be, well, this is the way of an entrepreneur. Don't expect that everything is going to come paycheck to paycheck. No. But if I look back, I have absolutely no regrets. And through those many years, I started to develop more of my understanding of the industry. I understood more of my capabilities. I learned how to budget myself. I learned all these new things from it. So I got out of that golden handcuffs mentality. And a lot of people, a lot of my peers didn't understand me. They didn't understand me. They thought, oh, this EEPMON is scrambling to find opportunities. What's wrong with him? This guy is like, geez, what's the matter with this guy? Why is he like that? But it's not until now that they start to realize, oh, there is method behind his madness. Anyway, so the impact of the golden handcuffs as a consequence to people that I observed, again, are just on this constant hamster wheel, unfulfilled. I have these conversations with them and they're just not happy. Absolutely not happy. And I'm like, well, you have to figure out how to get out of it. And they like, for many, many, many years, they're like telling me, yeah, I know I have to. I've got to figure something out. I got to plan it out. Many years transpired and they're still stuck in that same role. And I'm like, okay, sometimes you cannot plan it. Perhaps you need to do it cold turkey. Like you just gotta like, boom, make it happen. And then, but the problem is most people can't do it because they are afraid of the unknowns and the uncertainties. But I dare say, once you confront the fearful unknown and uncertainties face to face, head on, that's when you know that you are living. You're living it raw. It's raw shit, man. This is the reality. Now, you could take it two ways. Like I said, you could run away from it like a crybaby, or you could face it head on and deal with it. Of course, that's what I did. I dealt with it. Despite people questioning my motives. Because I couldn't care a rat's ass about what they think. I had to figure out myself, my own way, my own methodology, my own process. And to this very day, I absolutely embrace uncertainty and the unknowns. I love it. I cannot live my life without it. Because as soon as I get comfortable, I know that I become complacent. I know I conformed, I got comfortable, and that's not the way I roll. So the golden handcuffs is and to each their own. Maybe you like it. Okay? But for those people who like it but are also complaining at the same time that they don't feel fulfilled, well, then you have a dilemma. I know people are so talented, incredibly talented. But at the end of the day, the capitalist world has a grip on them. Money, money, money. And again, look around. It's even more prevalent because of the state of the economy. Inflation, cost of living has gone up, groceries have gone up. It's even harder now, I believe, to really get out of this golden handcuffs, as I observed. But for those who have continued your own endeavor, who went through the thick of it, who built the resilience proactively and persevered through the ups and downs, are well prepared and positioned to face the challenges that are coming. So, my advice, if you want to call it advice at all, is that if you are looking at ways to pursue your own endeavor, I don't think you really need to plan. You just got to go ad hoc style and do it. You just got to do it. Okay? I'm not telling you to quit or anything like that. Definitely not. But if you're going to do anything, at least make it happen. Even if it's just like 10% of what you want to do. Just start carving it out. Carve it. And who cares if the end result is what you expected or not? The fact that you did it will help inform you what the next steps are. But don't intellectually plan your strategy. Sometimes the most serendipitous actions, or the most, how do I say, unfiltered way of doing things, lead to the enlightened results. But keep going. And don't stop. And just like even now, look at what I'm doing right now. I'm doing a YouTube video. I woke up one day, I'm like, you know what? I have lots of stuff to talk about. So I'm going to do a YouTube channel. I'm going to talk about my own experience. I'm going to start with episode 1. And then episode 2. Every day, I'm going to do it. And now I'm episode 122, and I'm going to keep on going. Now, I could say, oh, not many people are looking at my channel or not looking at my views. Like, oh, my views are so low. Oh, I'm going to give up. This is not right for me. But no, I really don't really care, actually. My MO is to put my thoughts, my experience into the world through this way. Now, whether or not people want to pick it up or not, that's out of really my control. But I just got to continue just to put stuff out and see what happens. But already it's yielding dividends. Okay? Perhaps not in the societal expectations of metrics of views and numbers and likes, but I'm learning how to be more controlling of how I speak, breathing. I'm knowing how to be more. I revisit my videos, and I know how to improve my presentation, all that kind of thing. Knowing when to pause, getting better at presenting, basically. But I have much more to improve. But anyway, so the recap is that, again, I think that these are the factors that are really preventing a lot of people to follow their own path. It's really the fear of the unknowns and the uncertainties. And the fact that we are just kind of locked into the system and societal norms telling us what is acceptable and not. It's called groupthink mentality. It's peer pressure. That's what it is at the end of the day. We learn about peer pressure in high school or even elementary school, right? So to each their own. And that's basically what I have to say about that. So I encourage each and every one of you just to reflect on your own situation and consider steps towards how you can slowly bring about your own path without being too crazily strategic about it. The first steps are the most difficult, but it is the way. Anyway, I hope you like what I had to say. This is the Channel Eves episode 122, The Invisible Chains, Why We Hesitate to Follow Our Own Path. Keep building, everyone, and like and subscribe, comment down below, and I'll talk to you all soon. See you later. Bye-bye.